Okay, I think everything's working. Hopefully you can hear me and the guitar and everything okay. Hello, welcome to the third of my lockdown pedalboard streams. My name's David Burns, I'm from a band called Marshall Chipped. And in an attempt to keep myself sane whilst lockdown is on and we can't go gigging, I've been working on a wee project to build myself a new pedalboard and live streaming some of the builds and some of the results and some of the sounds that I've been getting. Hopefully to just give me something to do, hopefully inspire other people that might be interested in getting to know their gear a bit better. And it is finally finished. Excuse me, I was to trip over myself and all the 1,000,001 cables here. Here we are. The finished board, well, as finished as a pedalboard ever is. See, there's a bit of space where I can put something else if I get some more money in, or something else takes my fancy. So I just want to talk you through some of the new bits and pieces that have come in, because I was supposed to stream yesterday, but unfortunately deliveries that I was expecting in yesterday didn't arrive until much later, so I put the stream back until today. So new on the board since last time is, first of all, new distortion pedal. Swapped the Cali out for a ProCo Rat. I've got the ABY-BABY from the GigRig, which is a switching device which lets me go to 2 amplifiers without any problems. In the effects loop of the Memory Man, I put this Hotone Octa pedal, and to make the outputs a little bit easier, now that we've got the switching system, in here is a Bright Onions patch bay, which gives me 2 mono outputs and an extension socket with a TRS stereo if I want to plug another expression pedal in. So the signal path now is running, guitar is going into the tuner, into the wah, into the blues breaker, to the Rat, to the Big Muff. So the wah is before gain, and then I've got 3 gain pedals, and that is running into the ABY-BABY. And that is a switching device which lets me go to 2 different amplifiers. If I get up and find the switch to go over to amp cam, I'll show you what I'm running through today. So the A channel on the ABY is running to the Vox, and that is panned slightly to the left, I think, in the headphones. The B channel is running to the Laney, which is panned slightly to the right, so you can get an idea of which sound is coming from which one. You might hear a slight hum in the Laney. It's an old amplifier and it is a little bit buzzy. At some point I'd like to replace that with a good valve amp like the Vox, but it is what it is for just now. So the dry signal is running from the B channel to the patch bay to the Laney. So if I switch back to the pedals, I take the A out of the signal path. This is just the clean sound into the Laney. So that is just as the amplifier is getting it, and the pedals that are going to that amplifier are just the wah. In case you didn't know what a wah sounds like. Blues Breaker 2 is giving me a slight overdrive. little bit of a nastier sound out of a transistor amp than you get of a valve, but there we are. So that, and now if I just play quite quietly, it's still fairly clean. It doesn't really start to break up until I quite dig into it. When we got onto the Vox, it's the same as well, that the Vox is set up so that it will play clean until the blues breaker goes on, and then it'll still be fairly clean until you play quite hard in it. The Rat, that is a much harder clipping pedal. This is a much grittier, louder distortion. And really all I want to do when that is on now is just play this. It is actually the same pedal that Peter Buck used for a lot of Monster, particularly the tour. He gets a lot of his distortion sounds from the amp, but when he went on tour he was using a Rat there. Yeah, I just want to play What's the Frequency, Kenneth, with it. Now, this might sound a little bit horrible just now, just going into the Laney, the transistor amp, but this is for the big, horrible, nasty, muffled, fuzzy solo sounds. And off the board, that is all that the Laney is getting, because that is just going to the B output, straight to the patch bed, straight to the amplifier. So nothing else. If I turn the chorus, flanger, delay, tremolo, reverb, shimmer, none of that is going to the Laney at all. All these pedals are only going into the A output of the switcher. So from the switcher, from the A output, it goes into the chorus to the flanger, to the delay. The delay has an effects loop which runs to the octave pedal. Then the output from the delay goes into the tremolo, to the shimmer reverb, and to the Holy Grail reverb. And there's an expression pedal which controls at the moment the blend of dry to wet in the delay. So if I've got the A signal on here, so the chorus, flanger, so let's turn those off, and let's have a look at the delay. Let's have a look at one of my favourite new pedals. This just arrived last week. This is the Hotone Octa. So let's turn that on. And what this pedal does, if you're just using it normally and not in an echo unit, is it's got 3 dials on it. One for an octave below, one for an octave above, and one for dry. So if I set it all off, this is only affecting the repeats on the delay because it's in that loop. So with it all off, you don't even get the delay. Let's turn the dry signal up now. And that just runs the delay as you would normally hear it. same as if that pedal was off and you were just using the delay on its own. But where the pedal gets interesting is these two dials here, which are the octave below and the octave above. So if I put the octave below up full, every time a signal goes round a repeat of the delay unit, it sends it back to that pedal again, and it will go one octave below the time it was last, like this. Play the guitar up high so you can hear that going down. So every time it echoes, you're going to get another octave down from the original signal. And the reverse is true with the other dial. Let's turn that up full, and every time I play it's going to go an octave up. And because it's a digital pedal, so it's completely polyphonic, so it handles chords as well. I'm using it at quite the extremes of its signal, but just putting a little bit of dry, dial the octaves back a wee bit. You get these kind of almost harp-like arpeggios as the repeats go round. So that's the Hotone Octa along with the Memory Man. Next in the signal path is this. I love this pedal. This is the Trematron by Stone Deaf Effects. This is a tremolo pedal with entirely analog tone circuits, but with digital controls. This means you get beautiful sounding tremolo effects, but with really precise control over what you do with them. So let's turn it on and just, this is just the default setting that I have. This is a sine wave tremolo, quite similar to the amp tremolo that you get in the Vox. So that's the kind of basic standard setting. It's a beautiful sound, but you can do so much more than just that with it. This dial here is the waveform selector. So let's go down to more of a sawtooth. down to the square wave. And then there's all manner of offset squares as well for different tempos, different feels. And then these two controls here, that's the depth and the rates. Pretty self-explanatory. Let's put it back to a sine wave. So really low depth is barely on at all, right the way through. And the top one here, this is the rate. Slow it right down. You've also got a tap tempo divider here as well. So if you push it right to the extreme, you get this kind of ring mod sound as well. Unlike a lot of standard ring mod sounds, you still get a lot of the definition of the note doing it this way. So it's a weird sound, but you can still hear what note you're playing. Now all that would be pretty cool just on its own. But the amazing thing about this one, you can set two different tremolos at the same time. So let's take that as a starting point. If you press any of these buttons down, you'll see a second LED lights up, and that's your second tremolo circuit. And you can put that to an entirely different one. So let's put it to a really fast square wave and layer those two up. Some really quite interesting and bizarre sounds out of this. You can also save them to presets. You access the presets by pressing the two buttons together. So if I bear with me a second whilst I change the tuning on the guitar. Go down to drop D for a minute. And I'm going to demonstrate one of the presets that I've made for a new song that I've been working on. Let's put a bit of overdrive on as well. And put both amplifiers on. Now this is where it's quite important to have both amplifiers on, because you're going to lose a lot of the transients and the attack with a really heavy tremolo. So you've got your A signal path going to the Vox, it's got all the really heavy effects on there. But your dry signal's going into the B signal path into the Laney amplifier. So you still get the attack of the sound, you still get that immediate transient from the guitar. Makes it a little bit easier to play to. That's a wee something that's a work in progress with the Trematron. Let's go back to standard tuning. Even without using drop D, if you play anything with a Bigsby, you're going to spend half your life tuning your guitar. Right there. So the next two pedals in the signal board, well, the next one's down here. The signal path's going from the tremolo to the fluorescence. This is the shimmer reverb, and this is a big part of the sound of Marshall Chip's last album, May You Live in Interesting Times. And what that's doing is that's taking the, it's a normal reverb pedal, but then it's pitching the reverb signal up 1 octave. So you get this kind of almost sort of synth line sound behind your guitar. This kind of pad effect. And with the band that we have, with it, there's only one guitar. Anything that I can get that makes it sound like there's more instruments playing, I'm all for that. So that's the Shimmer. The last one in the chain is the Holy Grail reverb, which I use as a reverse reverb. Just to make the sound just that little bit weirder. But because I've now got it in wet dry with 2 amplifiers, you're still getting that attack from the Laney with all the transients of the guitar there with the clean sound. So it doesn't get completely lost and muddied up, no matter how heavy I go with the effects. For instance, this is the guitar track to something that I've been working on. This is using chorus, the Memory Man, the reverse reverb, and occasionally the octaves, both in the Octa in the reverb loop and occasionally in the Shimmer pedal. Anyway, so that's a little demo of a new work in progress, which hopefully won't be too long until we can get back into the studio, get back together with Pete and Mike, and start working all these new ideas into a new Marshall Chipped album or EP, or there'll be something before too long. So yeah, this has been my lockdown project. Pretty much finished now. That is my new pedal board there. So thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed these few streams. Though there will be more once we get back into the studio. We'll record a few bits and pieces there. So thank you for watching. If you'd like to help keep things supported whilst we're still in lockdown, you can go to patreon.com/David Burns. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed through there already. That's a big help in lockdown. Please like and subscribe to the channel as well, and I'll keep you up to date when I've got any new streams, any new videos, which hopefully won't be too long, as I say, until we can get back into the studio and working with the band again, and then we'll record some new stuff there. So thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.